Hi all. Good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Lungile Ngubelanga. I'm the PR officer at the Graduate School of Business and Leadership. So mine this evening will be very easy. I'll just like to start off with just a few house rules. Please make sure you are muted at all times. If you have any questions, you can drop them on the chat or raise your hand, but we will have a Q&A session at the end in the last 10 minutes of our session. So today we will be focusing on everything ICS. So your Moodle, your Turnitin, some of you have already started asking me about student emails. So we will try to cover that in this session. I would like to introduce our speaker or our presenter, Mr. Vasu Chetty. Mr. Vasu Chetty is a senior educational IT specialist in the ICS department, and he deals with academic computing. So without wasting more of your time, it's been a long day for all of us. Mr. Chetty, over to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Lungi. How's it, guys? I know you're tired. Don't worry. We should be done by about 10. So we'll rush through the modules and make sure everyone is sorted out. Okay, let's get started. I'll share my screen and then 1 second. Let me just my stuff away. Turns off. Okay. Should also switch my camera off actually. Give me a second. Don't need that. Okay, welcome to the session, guys. I'm not sure if you were undergrads at UKZN. I'm assuming some of you may not have been, so you're not too familiar with our systems and the platforms that we have. But I will give you just a quick introduction to how these platforms work, how you can connect to them. Also, I will share this presentation, and there's a few updates that is required. So I'll share this presentation with Lungi, and then she will email it to you guys. So you can just focus on what's happening. I know there'll be a Q&A at the end of the session, but if you want to ask a question before that, that's fine. If there's something that you're not too familiar with and you want clarity at that point, then that'll be cool. That's we can do that as well. And I think an hour is sufficient time to get through all of this. Okay, so let's navigate through these platforms. So the first thing is when you start at UKZN, you would have a login username. And your login username will be your student number at ukzn.ac.za. So if you are an undergrad student at the institution, you would carry your old student number. You know, it could have been 2020, 2022, 2024. But if you're starting with us for the first time, your student number will be 26, etc., etc. So you got to remember that your username is your student number at stu.ukzn.ac.za. All right, so you can see on the screen here, your username is student number. So that'll be your default login for every system, right? All the systems that you need to access will have that particular username. We'll talk about passwords just now. Okay, so if you're a first-time student, it'll be a student number and how you access it, etc., etc. I'll give you details around that. So the first time that you access any system at the institution, it will be your default login will be, your password will be stu at your date of birth. So as you can see, the format on the top is 2 for date, 2 for month, 4 for year. Okay, so that's the very first time you log in. So once you log in, you will be asked to change your password. Right? Obviously, you need to meet the criteria, which is 8 characters, the standard, right? 8 characters, uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols, that type of thing. Okay, so it's very standard, right? So the first time when you log in, you can go to any of our systems, but I'll show you that, right? We also have a password, uh, a default password link where you can change your password. So let's say, for example, you can't log in. So you tried your STU at date, month, and year. It's not working. You can go to a site that https://password.ukzn.ac.za. So there they will ask you a few questions and they will send you a PIN on your mobile phone. You can use that PIN. It'll give you access and then you can change your password. Okay, so it's important to have your email set up. We'll talk about emails shortly. Okay, so pretty standard, very easy. Your login details would be your student number at STU, and your password will be whatever password you change it to. Okay, so pretty standard, pretty easy to work with. Okay, so there's some of the rules and regulations around having a password. 8 characters one must be capital, there must be small letters, numbers, and one special character. Okay, so very standard process that if you've got a Facebook account or any internet account, you need to have these standard sort of rules and regulations for passwords. Okay. I think it's important to tell you that your password should not contain any personal information. I think you know about these things. There's nothing major that we need to get into. Okay, so there's a really good example of a bad password, p@ss word 2025. So those are commonly used passwords. Right, welcome 2026, exclamation, all of those things. You don't want those things to be your passwords. All right. Once you've entered all the information, you click on submit and you'll be sorted out. Okay. If you're experiencing any problems, you could send an email to IT Student Help. So we've changed this process. We now have something called Fresh Desk, where you need to log a ticket. I'll give you the address for the Fresh Desk ticket. And when I send you this guide, there will be a guide on how you use the Fresh Desk. For example, how you talk about what problem you're experiencing, what college you are from, etc., etc. I'll show you that, right? I'll send it in the guide, right? So that's important to remember. So this IT Student Help, we still use it, but we've stopped using it during registration because of the number of queries we're getting. We're unable to assess all the queries because we're getting registration queries and queries that don't really necessarily deal with IT, right? So there's too many queries going to that. So I won't advise you to use that address, but I think once you settle down on campus, you would be able to use this. Okay. The other important option, because you guys are off campus, you don't really come onto campus, a good option is to call 260-4000 and select the correct option for you guys. I think it may be option 2. I think staff is 1, student is 2. I know that you guys don't come onto campus, but if you do, on each of the 5 campuses, so that's Westville, PMB, Howard College, Medical School, and Edgewood. Those are our 5 campuses. If you were to come onto the campus, we have something called a IT walk-in center. Right, so you can come onto the campus. It doesn't matter which campus you're registered with. You can use any of those campuses. So if you live close to Pietermaritzburg and you want to get some help on the Pietermaritzburg campus, no problem. You can swipe your card. You'll be given access. No issues. Even if you wanted to print something at the PMB campus, but you are registered at the Westville campus, it'll still work. Right? You're not going to have any issues with that. So we have walk-in centers on each of the campuses, an IT walk-in center. You go to the walk-in center, tell them what problems you're experiencing, and they'll sort it out for you. Right, so it's fairly quick and easy. It just depends how long the student queues are. At the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the semester, it's really busy because there's lots of students that are having problems either setting up their mobile phones, their laptops, etc., etc. Okay, important to note, the starting times are 8 o'clock to 4:30. I'd be surprised if you find IT staff here at 4:30. So maybe in your best interest to be here earlier. Okay. Next thing, IT single sign-on. So at this institution, we use something called single sign-on, which means you use one username and password and you can access all the systems, every system. There are a few caveats, but I'll talk about that shortly, right? So if you want to check your email, if you want to get onto our learning management system, if you want to get a parking list, all of those things should essentially be single sign-on. So your username and your password will give you access to everything, parking disk, parking fines, all of those things. Okay, same username, same password, with the exception of a system we call Student Central. Now, Student Central is used to access your marks at the end of the semester for your exams and check your courses, all of those things. That is completely different. So that site is sc.ukzn.ac.za, but you'll get that information and it will require a different password. Those are the only two times that you will not, sorry, the only one time that you won't use your UKZN credentials, right? It's a separate site. And then I'm going to talk about Turnitin as well. So Turnitin, we'll get to that. That also may require a separate password, but we'll get to that shortly. Okay, single sign-on. You can access the LAN, multiple systems. I don't know if there's any questions in the chat. Let me just go and check it quickly to make sure. There's nothing in the Q&A. Okay, Lungi, if there's anything, you can just stop me and okay, there's nothing there. Because I don't have the chat screen open. Okay, the teams at the walk-in centers are very helpful. Okay, thanks, Aubrey. Yeah. So the walk-in centers, I mean, that's only if you're on campus, right? If you can get access to the campus. If you can't get access to it, if you can't come onto campus, then obviously it's a little more challenging. Yes, the thing will be recorded and shared with you guys. Okay. Returning students, do we follow the same process for returning students? So you need to be more specific, so what procedure are you referring to? Okay, I'll get back to that. If I use Freshdesk to change my student email to my work email, would this impact my ability to log in? Yeah, it would. So essentially, you have to use your UKZN student email address for access to everything on the campus. You have to use it. I know it's a bit of a schlep to have an email for work and an email for your studies, but the rules of the institution is when dealing with staff and students, you have to use your UKZN student account. Okay, very important. Okay, for setting up your password, if you're a returning student and you want to set up a password, if you're having challenges, use the password site. You shouldn't have a problem. You can use Freshdesk to set up your password. Obviously, you won't be able to access your UKZN details. Then you may use your Gmail or Yahoo or whatever account. Okay. Natasha's asking tough questions. What is the turnaround time for Freshdesk? I'm not sure, but it can be a bit hectic. But there's quite a few consultants. There are about 25 consultants, I think, that handles Freshdesk. How I get access to my old email again? Unfortunately, you will not be able to access your old email if you have not used the system for more than 3 months or 6 months. That old email does not exist any longer. That's a Microsoft rule. It's not a UKZN rule. Because we have Microsoft email addresses, right? Returning student forgot the email address or locked out of old password site. I think then you would use try password. So Nomfundo, try to use the password site to change that. Okay. Registration is not complete. So I can't handle registration questions. All right. Unfortunately, the faculty will have to take that. Okay, let's get back to the presentation. Sorry, I can't help you with registration queries. Faculty will take that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so for those of you that are new to us, we use a system called a learning management system called Moodle. It's often referred to as Moodle, or it can be referred to as Learn. So they're two terms that are used interchangeably. So this year it's changed to Learn 2026. Next year it'll be Learn 2027, etc., etc. That's how it works. To access this learning site, it's very important because your lecturers will put your content up on the site. They'll put your assignments, the course outlines, they'll give you announcements. A lot of things take place on the Learn platform. Most of the academics use it. I can't say for certain how many. Some of them don't use it, right? So don't be alarmed by that, but most of them do use it. So to access that, you go to https://learn2026.ukzn.ac.za. So when you log in, it's the top right-hand corner. You click to log in. So when you're logging into this site, you only use your student number. It's not the full credentials. It's not student number at STU. Okay, it's not that. It's just your student number and your password will get you in. There's been a few changes to Learn 26, but I will tell you how that works now. So this is just to let you know that there is a learning management platform. You all need to access it all the time. The one thing I want to say is, so you'd be registered for 4 modules. I'm assuming, right? 4 modules. And if you go to the Learn website and you only see 2 modules or 1 module or 3 modules, so that means it doesn't mean there's any problem with your registration. It doesn't mean there's any problem with the learning site. All it means is the fourth lecturer or the third lecturer has not put up their content as yet, and they haven't made that site, excuse me, available to you. That's all it means. The lecturer has not made it available, and in due course, they will make it available. So if you see 1 course or 2 courses, know that those lecturers have made it available already. And during the course of the week or the months, the other lecturers will start making it available to you. Okay. So when I want to log in, I go to the top right-hand corner and I enter my username and my password. So it tells you use your student number only, and you use your LAN credentials, right? The one that you've changed it to. So you know, obviously we had a default password, date, month, year. You've changed it to whatever password. That's the password you'll use. You click on login, and there's been a change now. So when you log on to the Learn site or the Moodle site, you'll have to check your inbox because there's a 2-step verification. So it will be emailed to you to your student account. So that's why it's important that you have access to your email. Right, so you'll get an email that says it'll send a code to you. You put the code in here, you continue, you should be fine. There's an alternate method. We've got something called the Authenticator app. You can have an app on your phone called Authenticator. You download it, you put your credentials in it, and it'll send you a code all the time. So when you log into it, it'll give you a code and you can put it on. Some of you may be familiar with it. If you want it set up, you could ask either log a fresh desk ticket, or the walk-in center guys will be able to help you with that. Okay, but I think let's get the thing going first with the 2-step verification via your email, and once you're done with that, you're good to go. Okay. So when you get to your courses, you'll click on, so when you get into Moodle, sorry, for example, you click on this thing here called My Courses, and it'll show you all the courses. Now, I've explained if you see 1 course or 4 courses, what's the difference between them. Okay, so this is the old one I'm using. The new Learn 26 is all white in color, right? So it looked different from this presentation. Okay, so this is where you'll access your learning material. When you enter your site and you click on a course, this is what you'll see. You'll see general, maybe there'll be announcements, there'll be some documents, there may be tests or assignments, course outlines, all the data will be stored in here. Assignments, it just gives you a view of what it'll look like. Okay. Very importantly, we have an app for Moodle. So if you've got a proper phone like an iPhone, you can use the App Store, and for all other phones, you can use the Play Store. I suggest you download the app to your phone purely because 2 things. The one thing is, okay, when you access the Learn website or the Moodle website, it's 0 rated, which means it doesn't use any data. So when you log on to the Moodle site from home, from work, wherever you are, it doesn't use any data, right? So that's the one positive about it. So when you log on to it, it doesn't use any data, right? Even the app itself, when you so let's say you're on the app and you'll see all your documents, everything is there. When you click on it, it doesn't use any data, so it's 0 rated as well. So you can use the app without any data. It's usually it's a big thing for our undergrad students because data is a big deal to them. I think you are more mature students, data may not be such an issue. But I want to point out, very importantly, that if you go to your Learn website, and let's say you're doing economics 101, and a lecturer has put up some content, and they put up a video. Now, when you click on that video will use data. So the 0 rated is only for the contents like your documents and all the content that's put up, but not for anything that's moving and talking. So if there's a video put up, it will use data. So remember that, it's very important. Okay, so it's 0 rated for like what is the word? Where you don't have videos and anything that plays back sound. Okay, those are the two things. All right, let's move on. Turnitin. So Turnitin is a swear word on campus. It will create lots of problems. Guys, can you just not use the chat for now? I think at the end of the session, you'll have access to the chat and you can you can join your WhatsApp groups and whatever. So for now, let's just focus on what needs to be done. Okay. Turnitin. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, you're going to have problems with Turnitin because that's what keeps me employed. And we make sure you have lots of problems. No, I'm kidding. So Turnitin is software that you use to check similarity for your assignments. At your level, all your assignments need to run through Turnitin. You get a report for it, and you need to present that to your lecturer. That's how it works. So I'm going to tell you a few things beforehand, right, to make your lives a little easier so you don't have problems. The first thing is when you're accessing Turnitin, the browser that you use is very important. Use Chrome, Firefox, or Safari. Chrome, Firefox, or Safari when you're working with Turnitin. Actually, you should use those browsers for anything on the internet, especially if you're doing internet banking, because those are safe browsers, especially Google Chrome, right? It gets updated all the time. It's really a good browser. In terms of security, it's the best browser. So I would recommend that you use Chrome because we've had instances of people trying to log in to Internet Explorer or Edge and they can't get in, but if they try Chrome, they get in. Don't ask me why. So to save yourself some issues, use those browsers. First thing. Second thing is, don't try to beat Turnitin. Then you're going to end up with quite a few other problems. What I mean is, you're going to have 4 courses. Let's say course 1, your lecturer gives you an assignment, but you want to be smart and you want to check that assignment in course 2. When you load that assignment in course 2, you've loaded it into the wrong assignment. You'll get your results, but that paper now sits in that course in that database. So when you're now submitting to the real course or the course you're supposed to have submitted to, it remembers the last paper that was submitted and it checks against it, and your score becomes really high. So don't do funny things because you're going to have problems with it, right? Work with it properly, do your submission, you get a score, you work with your lecturer on how you bring that score down. It's a relationship that you have with the academic, right? So that's important. Also, if your assignment is due on the 20th of Feb, don't come to us on the 19th and the 20th, say you have an urgent query with Turnitin. We won't be able to help you because Turnitin takes 2 or 3 days to resolve. So I'm telling you, when you get your due dates, make sure you're submitting 2 or 3 days before to avoid problems because you will have problems. And for us to sort your problems out will take 2 or 3 days. So it may be urgent to you when you come on the 20th, on the due date, or the day before the due date, but we can't help you with it. So you've been warned upfront. Okay. But the GSB students, you guys are lucky because that faculty are very switched on. They all use Turnitin all the time. So like Cecile uses it all the time. So if there are any issues, they'll be able to help you with it. So that's my 2 cents to you guys. The next thing is I spoke about the browser. I spoke about the due dates when you should submit. Also, don't give your document to someone else to check it in another institution. That is huge problems. You may have an uncle working in DUT and he's going to check your assignment for you. Huge problems because that document will now belong to DUT and there's no way of removing that paper from DUT unless the administrator there is going to remove the paper for you. But that's your problem, not our problem. So be very careful what you do with Turnitin. It will be a pain. So just try and get over it, right? Work within its means and do the right thing. You won't have any issues. The next thing I want to say about Turnitin is your lecturer, if you don't have a Turnitin account, right? Your lecturer, I'll show you the working of that now. Your lecturer will give you a class ID and a password so you can join their account, join your lecturer's account. When they send you that ID and that password, don't copy and paste it, type it out. Okay, the problem with that is if you copy and paste, when you copy off a website or from an email and you put onto a website, you get hidden characters and it messes up things. So you won't even be able to get access to it, although you're doing the right things. So just remember, when I do Turnitin training with the academics, I tell them this. Tell your students not to copy and paste. They must type out their enrollment key, and their passwords. Okay, so now that you're properly scared about Turnitin, some of you may have used it at an undergrad level. You may have had issues with it, and you may have written to us, and we wouldn't have replied. Well, some of them are kind. Maybe they replied. Oh, the one final thing. If you're having a problem with Turnitin, there's an email address that you send an email to, which is turnitin@ukzn.ac.za. That will be at the end of the last slide. If you have a problem, you send an email to Turnitin, the UKZN Turnitin. We only address queries that come with a UKZN student email address. If you send a query from your Gmail account, your Yahoo account, your iCloud, whatever else, maybe the girls are a little more helpful in my office and they'll attend to you, but I just delete the emails, right? It needs to come from your student email address. Finished. Okay. Now that you're properly scared, let's move on to Turnitin. So Turnitin is text matching software. What it does is it checks for similarities on the internet. Okay, so it checks to see that whatever you've copied and pasted in your work, is it similar to stuff on the internet? Now, obviously, you're going to be taking stuff from our databases, from the internet. At a postgrad level, I don't have to talk to you about plagiarism, right? You know how this thing works. So it will check and it'll see, okay, it's similar. Now, similar is not the same as plagiarized. So it's finding similar text, and your lecturer will speak to you about the text and say, hey, either this is similar or it's not, etc., etc. Okay, so what it does is it matches, it compares it with all the students in your class, it checks internet documents, it checks internet data, it checks student repositories, journals, and publications. So the journals and publications is what you guys will be using a lot of. Sabinet, Pubinet, EBSCOhost, all of those things, right? The libraries would have spoken to you about that. So Turnitin, it interrogates those databases. That's how it can check to see if you've taken any data from there without referencing it correctly. All right, so Turnitin, that's what its function is. So new users must create a student profile, which means you can only have one profile with your UKZN student email address. You can only have one. If you have more than one, we delete it. We remove those addresses every 3 months, I think it is, and whatever data is there gets deleted. So your lecturer won't have a copy of it, there won't be any record of it, and you'll have a problem, essentially, right? So you will only create one profile, your student profile. In order for you to create that profile, your lecturer must send you an ID and a password. Without that, you cannot create an account, right? And you only create that account once. I'll show you what I mean. Right? So that class ID and that enrollment key, you need that to join your lecturer, right? So an instructor, a lecturer, same thing. Okay, we cannot give you those details. You can't send an email to Turnitin asking for an ID and an enrollment key or a password. ICS cannot give that to you. Only the lecturer that sets up the class can give that to you. Very important to understand. It'll make your life easier. Okay, so to create an account, I'm going to go through this quickly because you can go through this, right? To create an account, you go to turnitin.com, you click on the login screen on the right-hand side, and it asks for your email address. Very important. You don't need to put that in there. You can click new user. Can you see? New user? Click here. If you click on new user, that ID and that password that lecturer needs to give you, you need to have that. Otherwise, you can't create this. Right? And you only need to do this once off. So your lecturer will give you a class ID, they'll give you an enrollment key, and you fill out the details. You put your first name, you put your last name. I just want to speak a little bit about double barrel surnames. Right? It is very finicky about double barrel names and surnames. If you're calling yourself Mary John, capital M, no space, hyphen, no space, capital J for John. When you forget your password, it asks you for those credentials. That's how you need to type it out. It needs to be exact. When you put a lowercase, when you put an uppercase, if there's a space between your hyphen, those are important things to make your life easy because you will have these challenges. Okay, I'm just warning you about it. Put your first name, put your last name. There's your email address. There you confirm your email address. As you can see, it's a student number at STU. You enter your password. Also, there's some criteria, right? Case sensitive, minimum number of characters, etc., etc. Standard password. Secret question. Very important, right? I think it asks you your favorite car, your favorite color, your first house, your first street. If the option of your mother's maiden name is there, please put that there. Choose that option because your mother's maiden name will never change. Your first car, your favorite movie, your favorite color, your first boyfriend, all those things changes over time. So please, mother's maiden name will always be the same, right? And your answer to the question. Please remember, if your mother's maiden name was Shelley, capital Shelley, please use the same format because when you forget your password, you have to click on a link and it asks you this question. If you don't remember and you put the wrong thing in, you're going to be stuck. And you're going to be stuck on the 19th when you're submitting on the 20th. That's when you come to me. And that's when I tell you it's going to take 2 days. But you've been warned. Okay. You click on I'm not a robot. Boom, bang. Account is created. Right. To log into Turnitin, you go to turnitin.com. You put your email address, you put your password, and you should be able to get access to it. Okay. This, if you had to reset your password, there's a link on that website to say, I forgot my password. You'll click on it. You put your email address. Then it's asking for your secret question. Your last name or your family name. You can't mess this up. If that's the option you chose, you put it in and you get access to it. So this is what a Turnitin site looks like, right? So this is pretty much when you log in, this is what you should see. Now, if you have many lecturers, if you've got 4 lecturers and they all put in their assignments and everything is up to date, you'll see something like this, or you may just see one. Now, if you already have an account, an existing account, you log into it and you can see it says enroll in a class. So you click on that and it'll take you, you'll put in the class ID and the password your lecturer gave you. You submit it. All you're doing is you're attaching yourself to that lecturer's account. Okay, so far so good. Let's see if there's any pertinent questions around Turnitin. Okay. Single sign-on. Okay, I'll come back to the single sign-on question. I'm just checking if there's any Turnitin questions. AI detector, I'd be very careful about that. Make sure you research what the policy on the AI detector is at UKZN. We'll come to that question again. Okay, so far so good. We're moving. Okay, so we understand Turnitin, right? A few more things. It's going to ask you to put in your username, your password. You can choose all of these options. It's just an overview of the user settings. Similarity reports. So this is what it looks like, right? I think this has changed a little bit, but on the right-hand side, it tells you your matching sources. In the body of the report, it shows you the different colors that you have, your paper and what the text is, and that's the viewing frame. So this is what when you submit your document and you view it, this is what it looks like. Similar to this. It's been evolved over time. Okay, so there's just different things here that you can look at. What's the matching overview, the sources that your lecturer can check where the sources are, where you found the similar texts, and they can click on it and it'll show them either a student in your class or those type of things. Okay, filters and settings. Your lecturer will discuss filters and settings with you. It's not something that you should be playing around with. Your lecturer would have had a filter and settings done for that particular class. Okay, so there's no need for you to interfere with that. So when you want to download your report, there's 3 options. The one is the current view, which means you submitted it and it's got all the text markings and those type of things. You can download that. If you only want the digital receipt, you can download that. Or if you want the originally submitted file, you can download that. Okay, very good. So this is just telling you the different colors that you view on the on your report, and not on your report, on your document itself. If it's blue, there's no matching words. If it's green, the different percentages. Okay, so you can see if there's 75 to 100% similarity, it'll be red. That's all it's saying, right? Grammarly. So Grammarly is a great tool that we have. We have the premium version and it's freely available to all of you. I suggest you use it, especially if English is not your first language. So it's really a teaching tool. I use it for all my emails. I've also attached it to my Outlook. If you can, a fresh desk consultant will be able to help you set it up for your Outlook. I don't think it comes standard with Outlook. I think it comes standard for Word. Okay, so you click on this. So what we've done is we've now made it in such a way that we've used single sign-on for Grammarly as well. So if you log into Grammarly, use your single sign-on, but you need to follow a few steps and you'll have access to it. Okay, so Grammarly Premium is what we have. Please make use of it. I use it for all my writing. I can't do without it, right? So you'll enter your student email address and click continue. So it'll be your student number at STU. You click continue. You will be prompted to sign into your current Grammarly credentials. So which is your UKZN credentials, your student email address and your password. Okay. You put that in here, you click on sign in, and then it say you are now invited to join the UKZN account. Click join, boom, you're in. So you'll have Grammarly attached to your Word documents. Okay, so you can use Grammarly. Very cool. Some of the important information that you'll need: Turnitin at ukzn.ac.za. Grammarly, we don't really use this for Grammarly anymore because we've done single sign-on. But if you have a Moodle query that you need help with, you can send it to learn@ukzn.ac.za. This is quite an important website. Software Rep is where we store all our software. So you would go to this website and you'll click on academic software and you'll see a whole list of software. SPSS and Vivo, EndNote. There's a whole lot of software there, whatever you'll need. If you're doing your research, either qualitative or quantitative, you'll need to download that software. There are help files in that repository with the software that you can click on. You open the help file, you can download it, how to install the software and how to use the software. That's what you will be using. Software Rep, right? Very important. Freshdesk, if you want to log a query, you'll do it. That's the address. It'll be the Freshdesk portal. Will help you with that. If you're calling us, it'll be 031-260-4000. If you're off campus, select the correct option. And like I said, we're available from 8 to 4:30, but not me. I try to be here until about 2. So I'm here very late now. I need to fill out an overtime form. Let's talk about a few things. Okay, let's stop the share. Let's go to the chat. Okay, let's start at the bottom and I'll work my way. So don't do any chatting, right? Let me work my way. Let's do this first and then I'll allow you to answer some questions. I'm a Turnitin. I'm an academic in another discipline. Can I use an academic account to just join a class or create another profile? Oh, this is an interesting question. So, very important. This won't appeal. This won't be the same case for all of you guys. It'll only be if you're an academic at UKZN and you already have a Turnitin account. You cannot use, guys. Hope I just said don't use the chat. Can we just take? I'm hopeful that you're going to take a second here. Let's just finish the questions that we have. Then there's time for more questions. So let's answer Theodore's question. So Theodore, in your particular case, you cannot use your current Turnitin account, right? You'll have to create a student account and you and your supervisor will liaise with your student account and that account. But if you are supervising other students, then you will use your staff account and you'll create classes and assignments and they'll upload to them and you'll assist them with that. So don't confuse the two accounts. You will need a student account to work on your postgraduate studies. And when you are helping other students, you will use your staff account. Very important. Okay. So you can't just toggle between accounts. All right. Does Turnitin raise an issue if you have referenced properly? Yeah, Yonela, Turnitin is a problem. The software it's the best of the similarity detection software that's available out there. That's why it's so expensive, but there will be challenges, right? Even if you reference properly, it could pick up something. However, it also depends on how the academic has set up that class, because there's a lot of settings that need to be correct when the academic sets up a class and an assignment. If those settings are incorrect, then you may have an issue, right? And we can only investigate that at that time. But don't try to find issues with it, right? Use it properly, do your work correctly. Don't try to beat the system. You should be okay. Can you join multiple classes? Very good question. Ralele. Yes, you have to be able to join multiple classes. So when you probably asked that question before I showed the enroll in a class thing, right? So all you do is you'll enroll in multiple. So you'll have one account and you'll enroll in multiple classes, and you'll see multiple assignments for different lecturers on that homepage. Okay. What if I use other AI detectors that uploading it there, make it their property? Like I said, AI detectors, you have to be very careful of. So before I answer that question, let me tell you something else. You should not take a document and upload it onto the internet for any reason, to check your spelling, to check your word count, to do any of that. I would strongly advise you not uploading any documents onto the internet, because there are things on the internet called paper mills. They will take that paper and they will sell it to someone else, and that paper will then be used. When you try to submit, that paper already exists, and you've got no recourse against it. So be very careful when you are uploading any content onto the internet. Do your best not to upload it. So remember, you have a relationship with your academic. You and the academic need to work closely in order to make sure that the assignment is fine, it's successful, etc., etc. You form that relationship, especially when you're doing your masters and your PhD, etc., etc. Right? So and if you start using it correctly from now, you won't have any issues with it. Okay. If you use other AI detectors, uh, like I said, if you're using an AI detector that's, there's several of them, right? There's like GPT, there's Claude, there's Gemini, but you're using it on the internet, and you do not know if GPT is ring fencing it only for your institution, or is it looking out on the internet for everyone to get access to it. So I would be careful using AI detectors. All right. Uh, so to answer your question, it could make it their property. All right. Currently on my profile, I have work and student email with emails from the university go to both email addresses. Natasha, what you could do is um, you could go to your student inbox and set a rule. Everything that comes into your inbox gets forwarded to your work account. You could do that, but when you're communicating with lecturers, remember you have to use your UKZN student credentials. If you're working on Moodle, if they're sending an announcement and you want to reply to that announcement and it's forwarded to your work email, that won't get back to Moodle. You'll have to do it from your student Outlook. Okay, but there's a few things. I understand it is a bit messy. However, it is what it is. But the institution is clear on using your UKZN student account. Right, but if you can push everything to your staff account, to your work account, you can check it there and then you can go back and see what needs to be addressed. Okay. WhatsApp groups. I don't know why people like joining WhatsApp groups. What is the name of the app on the App Store? It should be Moodle, UKZN Moodle. Oh, Hope. It should be UKZN Moodle. Good question. I'll have to check. It should be Learn 2026, but it must have something associated with UKZN on it, right? Please ask. We only post questions for our presenter here, so we don't have to get. Yeah, don't worry, don't be late. It's fine. Text. What is the name of the app on the App Store? I think I spoke about that. TBA. How to get my LAN password? That was the opening statement in this lecture. Your LAN password is your default date of birth. That's what you start with. Tokozani, I hope you got that. Is there a single page where all sites the students will? Yes, that's the last page. You got that. Is this how I activate or register my email? Because the window doesn't open whenever I click on this link. Oh, I don't know what link that is. Let me see. Yes, you can use that. What are you saying the problem with that is? My UKZN is helpful. Okay, register my email because the window doesn't open whenever I click on this link. Maybe just type it out. my.ukzn.ac.za. Quick and easy. Right? I told you about clicking on links, right? Be wary of that. I have a UKZN email, but I haven't received a password. How can you assist? This is my first time registering at UKZN. I think I covered that with the opening statement of your initial one. Okay, let me see if I got this question right. I have an email, but I haven't received the password. Yeah, so the default password is stu at date, month, year, your date of birth. All right. Facebook. Pressing issue, registration not complete because of documents on hold. I think I want to restart the process. Sorry, because you'll have to, the faculty will have to help you with registration queries. I'm no expert in that. Is this recording going to be available later? I don't know why you want to listen to me again, but I'm sure they'll make it available to you. Okay, I just downloaded Moodle on my phone. Do I use my UKZN credentials? Yes, yes, you'd have to use your UKZN credentials. Any other questions? What do I type under your site when logging into Moodle? Wait, is this on the app now? Yanela, are you asking me on the app or on the app? It should be https://learn2026.ukzn.ac.za. That's what it should be, because that will direct you to the Learn website. Any other questions? You can ask the questions or you can type it. I could type it out, or it's in the document I'm going to send to you. Okay, let's http://6.ukzn.ac.za. I think that should be it. You can unmute and ask a question if you have a question, guys. Oh, there's a Q&A. Okay, somebody followed the instructions on the Q&A. Well done, Palindran. Can Fresh Desk assist with setting up a student email if my old student email is no longer active? No. Fresh Desk cannot help you setting up a student email. Can Fresh Desk assist by setting up a student email? No longer active. Yeah, they can help you, but remember I said you don't need Fresh Desk to do it. You can do it yourself. You can just go to the to passwords that UKZN.ac.za and you can set it up yourself. But they can help you with that, even though you're registered with your work email. Right? Like I said, you can use it, but when you're using Turnitin and stuff, you have to use your student email address. All right. Okay, people want to be added to the WhatsApp groups. You send your query to email. Yeah, the present. I'm sure, Lungi. I'm sure the presentation will be sent to them, right?
I'll send it through tomorrow morning.
Okay, cool. What is the name of the Authenticator app? Authenticator app. That's what it's known as. Global Protect. Global Protect. Yeah, let's talk about Global Protect. Okay. The default password is, I think it's all lowercase stu. I think, I'm not sure. I'll talk about Global Protect now. Entering on the Learn app when you were presenting helped. Okay, Sapo. So Global Protect is, so let me explain, right? So Global Protect, you need to use it. It's used. You know what I'll do? I'm going to send in the document I send. I'm going to have a screenshot with Global Protect and how you set it up and how you work with it. I'm just going to explain what it is now, right? So in the previous document, I did have Global Protect, but I see the lady took it out. But I'll get this to you guys. So Global Protect is, you need to have it installed on your machine, and what it does is it tells the institution that it tricks your machine into believing that it's sitting at the institution. So when you start up Global Protect, it's as if you were on the campus. You're on the campus network and you can access everything as if you were sitting at the institution. That's what Global Protect does. It's a gateway that allows you to access all the content that is made available to you as if you were sitting on campus. Right? So you need to authenticate to it. That's what Global Protect is. You can also set it up on your phones, but you guys don't come onto campus, right? So you don't need it. For those of you that do come onto campus, you set up on your phones, and then you can access the Wi-Fi and everything like that. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Are we good?
It seems like you've covered most of them. So to those who are asking how to set up your UKZN email, the document that I'll share, the presentation I'll share in the morning, that is covered there. But for those who were here at the beginning, Vasu did cover that. But I'll send through the presentation tomorrow morning.
Lungi, one other thing. So send the presentation, right? But I'm going to send you a document, like a PDF help document that'll have everything in it. The problem is I've got a super busy week. Oh no, tomorrow's fine. Tomorrow's fine. Okay, I'll send it tomorrow. I'll just make sure that the document. So there were some documents like there's a Turnitin document, there's a Moodle document, there's all updated documents that were sent. I'll just make sure they're correct. I'll send you those documents, then you can send it to them. The recording you can send, but just wait for the help file.
Sure, no problem.
Let me send you an updated help file with Global Protect, all of the stuff. That'll make
and then the recording, to those who are asking, will be uploaded on our website. When I send you the presentation tomorrow, I'll send you a link to where the recording will be uploaded.
Okay, there's a question around, are you going to send the document to their private email addresses as we are new to UKZN?
To the emails you registered for the session with. So if it's your work email, then it's going to send to that, because I only have the email addresses that you registered for this session with.
Okay, another Q&A. Oh, what's the process for activating student cards for access in the libraries? Not sure if this is the right platform for this question. Student cards, I know, have to be activated on campus. I don't know how it works with postgrads and people that cannot get onto campus. I think there may be a process where you send a photo of your student card in, and I think you can set log a ticket for this. If you cannot get onto campus, how do you activate your student card? I think that may be a fresh desk query, because they will be because if you're studying from off campus, Namibia or whatever, your card still has to be activated, and but I think your login will give you access to the repositories and stuff. But I know if you're coming onto campus, you activate your student card on campus, but if you are not, there is a way that ICS can activate your cards. I'm not sure what the way is. Maybe create a fresh test ticket for that. Okay. Please send the presentation. Okay. Ish. Putting your email address here. Now we're all going to send you an email. Nomsa, taking a big chance. Software rep. Yeah, that's there. Such an informative session. Oh, you're welcome, Tuli. Don't forget what I said about Turnitin. You'll be crying when it comes to Turnitin. Okay, I think I've answered all the questions, eh?
It looks like.
Yeah, but if there's questions related to the like Grammarly and Learn, we can take those questions, but registration, I can't help you with those things. Okay, you're welcome, Zungu. You're welcome, guys. It's my job. We have to do these things. I thought they're ready to go. These people don't want to leave, Lungi. I thought they had a long day. They're happy to still chat.
Well, they can chat with you.
No, I'm leaving. I'm heading to the gym now, so I'm late.
Thank you guys, so much, everyone. Thank you, Vasu, for another very informative session. I will send this presentation and the document tomorrow, as well as the link to the recording. Have a good day further. Thank you so much. We have another session tomorrow on library, and then one on research on Wednesday. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All the best, eh? Welcome to UKZN, and you're in good hands. This GSB, this committee, they're on the ball. Trust me, you'll be okay.
Thanks, Vasu.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Bye. Bye, guys.